A KXAN News in-depth report.
If you've ever had anything stolen, you probably know that sinking feeling. And if you've ever got that something back, you know the relief. But in Texas, victims of vehicle theft may not get their vehicle back without paying a price, even once it's found. Chris Sadeghi took an in-depth look at the law that can leave some victims feeling like they got hit twice.
Naturally, you may think if you have a bike or car stolen, you're entitled to get it back if it's found. Not necessarily the case, thanks to the criminal code involving tow companies in Texas. It says tow companies are entitled to be paid for their work, sometimes paid well. For some, a set of wheels is like a child.
Man, it's my baby. I just had 10,000 miles barely put onto it.
Justin Brown bought this 2004 Honda motorcycle 5 years ago, and he raised her well.
And this paint color is called Rattlesnake, but it's a new kind of paint that dramatically changes color.
But on July 16th, Justin left his East Austin apartment for work, and his baby was taken.
When I got back, the bike was just gone.
And he really didn't expect to see it again.
I'd made peace with it being gone.
But a week later, he got the call.
Calling about the 2004 Honda motorcycle you'd reported stolen. I wanted to let you know that vehicle has been recovered.
His motorcycle was one of two recovered in a bust at this home in Kyle, where 3 people were charged with theft.
It was definitely a relief, and I was happy whenever it first decided that I thought I was going to get it back, but I didn't know what was all entailed in that.
He found out when he showed up to Quantum Unlimited Towing, and boy, was it a surprise.
And she's like, okay, you ready to pay? And then I was kind of like, pay? She said it was going to be $695 to get the motorcycle out.
Every occasion's different.
John Rodriguez is the manager of Quantum Unlimited. They help clean up accidents and other situations where a car needs to be moved, and some are easier than others.
We got to sit there and clean everything on trash bags, whatever it takes to get it cleaned up and hauled off.
When police made the bust at this home, they called Quantum Unlimited to tow the motorcycles. Right away, that's a $195 towing charge, plus a $50 certified letter to the owner. Those are standard, but there was more.
So we ordered another guy out there to help so he wouldn't hurt himself, so we could load up both motorcycles.
To handle the bikes with care, Quantum called a second person. That's $100 more for labor, and because they had to wait on the police investigation, it was another $100 for wait time. Justin works 2 jobs, and it took more than a week for him to make it down to Kyle. Each day, the bill went up $20.
You know, I'm already a victim in this whole situation. I think it's crazy to charge like super high prices.
But in the Texas Criminal Code and on the paperwork a theft victim signs, it says the vehicle owner is responsible for paying all impound fees. Insurance sometimes will cover that cost, but Justin only had liability coverage. Rodriguez's prices at the tow business are clearly posted, and Rodriguez says business is business.
I understand his circumstance, but it's kind of like our circumstance, too. We wouldn't be in the business if that's not part of the business we need to do.
Unable to pay, Brown let the motorcycle sit, running up a bill around $1,400 until Rodriguez told him to pay or the bike would be auctioned. And because of the circumstances, Rodriguez says he would cut Brown a deal and let him have it back for $700.
So we normally don't do that. Other tow companies normally don't do that at all. It is what it is.
Every time I look at it, man, I find something else that's messed up on it.
Justin decided to fork out the $700, but his bike is a far cry from what it used to be. It'll take a couple thousand more to get it in working condition, and he actually wishes it would have just stayed gone.
It's crazy that I was the victim, and then it's like I got double victimized. I really was better when it had just gotten stolen.
Now, in the criminal case, the prosecutor could potentially work to have restitution paid back to the victim of the crime, but having insurance coverage, which pays for costs associated with theft, might be the best way to avoid a similar situation. On our website, KXAN.com, we have more information on towing laws and just how much they could cost you. We're in the studio. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
And if you have a story tip for us to look into, call our KXAN Investigates tip line. There's the number, 512-703-5255, or you can send us an email to investigates@kxan.com.